I am taking a big risk doing this video out here. In case you can't tell, it's actually like it literally had just rained, and I have no idea how consistent the rain is going to be this entire day. Like, at any given moment, it actually might stop again. So I'm really worried. It's also why, sorry guys, no jumping in the lake today. And I really wanted to. I would have totally done it. Like, if it wasn't raining, but we still had, like, look at the fog in the background. Isn't that cool? Oh, it's the, actually, let me, like, look at the background, man. This is cool. But, like, if it wasn't for, like, the rain, and I'm not gonna lie, my low is the fact that I am, like, my allergies are killing me at the moment. So, between that, the fact that it is raining, and, you know, I don't want to risk getting sick, you know, I mean, if this was, and I'm really bumming myself out, too, because I actually really did want to jump in, but at the same time, I'm kind of in a hurry, because there's a concert there's like that benefit for that investigator that, like, got hit by a car a few months back, like, it's going on today. But I could actually make 10:30 mass back home, and I can already guarantee you I might just miss 10:30 mass. Like, I would have to no later than, like, 9:45 for me to make it on time. And even then, I'd be cutting it really close. So, for better or for worse, I'm going to have to stick with this format. So, man, like, it's like light drizzling right now. It's actually, like, quite beautiful out here. I mean, yeah, you can clearly see rain falling in front of the camera, but it is like the scenery behind me, like, this is actually my favorite kind of weather up here. As crazy as it is, I mean, I know you want to have, like, sunny days and warm weather, but me, I feel most at home like this. I really do. I actually got the blue and orange matching going on. Cool, huh? So, my high is yesterday, I actually saw this really freaking good movie. Like, holy cow, this movie was good. Like, I saw this movie, like, I have to talk about this movie. Like, if I don't talk about this movie, I genuinely think I would be doing myself and society a disservice. Because this might just be the best movie I've seen all year so far. Yes, I think it might actually be better than Furiosa. And I loved Furiosa. But I'll get to that in a second. My act of kindness was, I helped my dad around all day. And, okay, so here's the thing. He wanted to leave here for confession and bath, but confession wasn't going on, so we go all the way back to Corning, and then we come all the way back here. So, basically my act of kindness was humoring him, which, I mean, I don't ever want to do ever again. I mean, listen, it was like almost 7 o'clock. I was getting really hungry. Thank God we went to Village Tavern, and oh my, first, Village, actually, that's another part of my high. And going to Village Tavern is another part of my high. Because, holy cow, like, the bread they gave us came with a roasted red pepper pesto, which was, like, that was addicting. The she crab bisque with jumbo lump crab meat, that was awesome. Wow, it's, like, really starting to come down now. But it's, like, light at the same time. Where was I? And then, like, the prime rib was so tender, I was quite literally cutting it with my fork. It was quite literally fork tender. That doesn't happen. But, like, I mean, I know they say fork tender, like, it's tossed around a little bit. No, I literally cut it with my fork. And it was, like, cooked to my liking. Like, I don't know what Village Tavern did, but it was amazing. Came with, like, cream spinach and Brabant potatoes. Oh, like, oh my God. Oh my God. That was, like, that was a dinner, my friend. And also, my uncle was having a party, too. I hung out there for a little bit, and it was fun. And, there's some nice people at that party, so credit where credit's due. But I gotta talk about the movie that I saw. So, the movie I saw yesterday was Hitman. And it's based off of the real-life story of Gary Johnson, with one very big twist. So, if you don't know, Gary Johnson, played by Glenn Powell, is he works as a psychology professor at the University of New Orleans. But to supplement his income, he also does wiring and stuff, like for cops, specifically for people who want to schedule hits. So the cops have fake hitmen to negotiate the deal. And when the person who wants the deal done says, "I want this person dead," that's how they get him. Well, it turns out that the normal guy, his name is Jasper, well, for one thing, he's a dick and honestly one of the major antagonists of this movie. He gets himself suspended, so Gary has to take his place. And, okay, I can't talk about this movie without talking about just how good Glenn Powell is. I'll be honest, I have never even heard of this guy. I mean, maybe I've seen him and stuff, but Lord knows if I can remember anything. And he goes from being mild-mannered Gary Johnson to just straight-up Matthew McConaughey. Badass Matthew McConaughey. He becomes a completely different person. And it's, even the people he's working with, they're it is scary, how good at this he is. I mean, granted, he's legit using his expertise as a psychology professor to great effect. But at the same time, it's throughout the movie, he figures out, okay, hitmen are supposed to be the sleaziest, scummiest looking people ever. So he comes up with different disguises, different things of teeth, different wigs, makeup, to say this, Gary Powell is committing to a role who is committing to a role. You don't see that often in movies. But things get complicated when there's one hit where this one woman named Madison, I believe, played by Adrian Arjona, who's really good in this movie. She wants her husband dead, but Gary, played by Glenn Powell, finds her pretty, so he's listen, just leave him, start a new life, do that. He can't force himself to take the money and, pretend to be the hitman and, out this woman. She can't. So, with Gary disguising himself as Ron was the name of the hitman that he disguised himself as for, Madison. Madison is dating Ron, not realizing that she's dating Gary. And it gets interesting when Madison's ex-husband shows up. And it turns out he wants Madison dead. And he hired Ron to do it, which overcomplicates things greatly. And I don't want to complicate things any further because I really do not want to give away how this movie ends. One thing I can't give away. Madison clearly kills the ex-husband. She does. But, the twist at the, I don't want to give away the twist, but I'm thinking, wait. Did Gary become so immersed in the role of Ron that he actually did it? Because the ex-husband's killed off screen. Up until the very end, you're legit wondering, I mean, obviously Madison did it, but you're not entirely sure she did. Not yet, anyway, until Madison actually does straight up say she does it. But, just the twist ending of this movie, which, unfortunately, I did say there was one major twist, and I can't really talk about this movie without, the major twist, so I'll get into it. If you haven't seen the movie, feel free to stop the video here at 10 minutes, and I'll tell you when you can start back again in the description. So, obviously, with Madison having done what she did, and Gary confessing the fact that he's not a real hitman, they gotta find a way to get out of it. Especially when Madison becomes the number one suspect because her ex-husband took out a $1 million life insurance policy that would go to the next of kin, which would be Madison. So, the way that they get out of it, at least convincing everybody, with the exception of Jasper, I'll get to him in a second, the way they convince everybody that they didn't do it was that's my favorite scene in the movie. My favorite scene of the movie is basically Gary's being wired. So he has a phone with messages out saying, listen, I'm being wired. Do exactly as I tell you and nothing bad will happen. Just the acting and chemistry that's actually one thing that really makes this movie work. The acting and chemistry between Glenn Powell and Adria Arjona is some of the best chemistry I've seen in film in a long time. I love it. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. So they get out of it, but Jasper's the only one who's not convinced. Because obviously, Jasper does this fake hitman stuff for a living, so he knows exactly what goes down. So at the end of the movie, Gary goes to see Madison, but then Jasper's already there. Oh no, what happened? So basically, between the two of them, Jasper has enough evidence to put them away for a long... Madison would go away to jail for life, no question. And Gary, he'd go away for a long time too. Not quite forever, but the likelihood of parole, not the greatest. So, basically, knowing that Madison just got the $1 million life insurance policy, Jasper is trying to get a bribe. You give me the $1 million life insurance policy, I won't tell it all. And as Jasper is trying to negotiate this, he completely collapses. Turns out, Madison drugged the beer he was drinking. And knowing that Madison is going to be in huge trouble. And there's the thing, after Madison left the ex-husband, she was living a pretty decent life. She was exploring some of her passions. She was volunteering at a dog shelter. She was doing really good. And then she drugs the cop. She's going to go away for a long time. And this is the twist ending, because in real life, Gary Johnson didn't murder anyone. He just recently passed away in 2022. And he was really good at his job. He really was a psychology professor at the University of New Orleans. He legitimately he busted 70 hit cases. He was really good at his job. The one thing he never did was commit murder. That's the twist. Gary commits murder in this movie. But the movie states during the credits, we made that part up. So that's good. But that's the twist. So what Gary does is he takes a plastic shopping bag and he puts it over Jasper's head, and therefore he suffocates him while he's knocked out. And then Gary and Madison live happily ever after. They have 2 kids, they're married, life is good. Okay, now, here at 14 minutes. So, it's over. This movie was absolutely phenomenal. Oh my God. I know this, I know the Oscars are particularly picky regarding, performances. And so I don't think it's going to get any Oscar nominations, but Glenn Powell needs to get nominated for an Oscar for this. He should. He absolutely should. Just the way he's, committed to the role of a guy who's legit pretending to be a fake hitman, who is legitimately committing to the role of being a fake hitman. It's basically in a dream within a dream. it's the sort of overcomplicated shit that, like, a lot of people didn't like about the movie Inception. Only done... I mean, I like the movie Inception just fine. But, like, this movie done infinitely better. Like, if you watch only one movie this entire calendar year, make sure it's Hitman on Netflix. Because, oh my God. Like, this is a performance that needs to be talked about and stuff. Like, if you're like a teacher who like teaches film and stuff like that, Glenn Powell's performance in this movie needs to be studied. It needs to be, and I mean that in the best possible way. This movie was, good God, this movie was incredible. Like, I know Glenn Powell's not going to get nominated for an Oscar, but man, I really think he should. He really should, because this is easily the best movie I've seen so far this year. Of all the movies that I've talked about, and I've talked about a few. You know, I've talked about stuff like, you know, the Batman and stuff like that. But this movie, like, again, if you watch only one movie in 2024, have Hitman be the movie. Because I don't think we're going to get much better than this. I mean, yeah, we got Deadpool Wolverine coming out, and that's going to be amazing. And I'm sure there's other movies coming out that I'm really looking forward to. But for now, I feel very comfortable saying this is the best movie I've seen so far this year. Straight up. In fact, if I ever had a date, I would totally watch it with a girl. That's how good this movie is. But I get to watch it on Netflix, and that's cool too. I hope you all like this video. Oh, hold on. How pretty this is. Oh my God. So I hope you all like this video. If you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humble in this video. For all of you guys watching, enjoy video. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Oh, happy Sunday, folks. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend you. Always here back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby. Ooh, so pretty. It's so pretty. Yeah. I may not have jumped in the lake today, but whatever. This is still nice.